here today for our TBR talk. It's going to be a short video because we have company. It's going to be a short video, yeah. So I have a stack of books here that I'm hoping to read. I got some books from publishers. I have some books that I want to read for the book club. I need to read some books for the BookTube prize, and so I'm going to share some of these titles with you. I don't know too much about any of these books, so I'm not going to give you details of the books. I'm just going to share with you some of what I plan to read in April. So we'll start with the RunWrightReads book club because why not? RunWrightReads book club in 2021, we're reading books that are set in the Caribbean. So each month we choose a different country or territory in the Caribbean, and we read two novels from that region. Last month we read Puerto Rico. The month before that we read Jamaica. And in January we read Guadeloupe. So in April we're reading books that are set in Trinidad, and I chose Golden Child by Claire Adam as one of the titles, and the other title is The Wine of Astonishment by Earl Lovelace, which is a book that I first read when I was in high school, and I loved it, and I've been wanting to reread that book ever since. And I thought, since I now have a captive audience, why not ask my book club members to read that book with me? So those are the two books that we're going to be reading in April. I have Golden Child, and I love this book. I love this book so much that I got a copy from the publisher, and I also bought a copy for Book of the Month Club. So I have two copies of that book. Yeah, that's the first book that I'm going to be rereading in April. I say first book, not chronologically, of course, just this is the first book I'm telling you about. Other books that I'm going to be reading include books that I have been gifted by publishers. I have How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci. This is 7 Steps to Genius Every Day by Michael J. Gelb. This was a gift from Penguin Random House, and they were also kind enough to give me a code where I can experience it's a seminar or workshop on this book, and I haven't joined the workshop yet, so sorry you can't see the pumpkin. You want to see them, you want them to see you. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading and experiencing this book in a couple of formats in April, and I'll tell you more about it when I've done so. I also got a copy of The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy A. Brown. This is how the tax system impoverishes Black Americans and how we can fix it. This is a gift from Penguin Random House, and Dorothy Brown is a professor at Emory University School of Law. That's her picture right there. And I've heard some really good things about this one, and so I'm hoping to get to this one in April as well. It's upside down on you. All right, there you go. I also got a copy of Feelings, A Story in Seasons by Manjit Thapp. This is illustrated. This is one of those graphic books, and I should have read this already because there aren't that many words. You know, it's pictorial, but I haven't read it yet, and I'm looking forward to doing that in April. Feelings, A Story in Seasons by Manjit Thapp. Here is the brief synopsis. Enter Manjit Thapp's world, where you'll find moods that change as quickly as the weather, the different shades of anxiety and hope that each new season brings, the stages of joy and pain that fuel our growth. Come along on a gorgeous visual journey through one young woman's year of emotions, from the saturated highs of early summer to the gray isolation of late winter. So that's a hook for me. I'm looking forward to reading that. Penguin Random House also sent me The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez. These are short stories, and I loved this author's collection, Things We Lost in the Fire. Yeah, I have a copy of that somewhere there, and I read that a couple of years ago when it came out, and I loved it. This author is from Argentina, and her writing is very striking. So I'm looking forward to what she will do, the arresting emotions that this book will evoke. I'll tell you more about it once I have read it. The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. Look at this cover. Other books that I got from publishers. This is also from Penguin Random House. This is How Beautiful We Were, Imbolo, Mbue. This author wrote Behold the Dreamers, and that was a book that was very highly lauded, and I didn't read it, unfortunately, but I've been wanting to check out the work, so I'm gonna start with her latest novel, How Beautiful We Were. And this one is, so that's a picture of the author, and she is from Cameroon. She now lives in the United States. And this is set in a fictional African village of Kosawa, and it tells of a people living in a fair amid environmental degradation wrought by an American oil company. So we're going to be reading some things about the impact of capitalism. I am looking forward to reading that book. I've heard good things. So you're bringing your own TBR? Okay. She brought this one from the shelf. Mommy has not read this. I bought this book several years ago and I haven't read it. Is that the book you want us to read aloud in April? We could do that. I also have this book. I got this arc from the publishers. This is from Wednesday Books. And this is a novel that's set in Jamaica. So, you know, that's high up on my radar. This is Hurricane Summer by Asha Bromfield. And Asha Bromfield, this is her photograph. She is an actress. Her family is Jamaican, so she's of Afro-Jamaican descent. And this is, I think this is YA. We're reading about a teenage main character. I think she's about 18 years old, and her parents have been living in Canada. Her father has now kind of relocated to Jamaica, and so she and her younger sister are sent to spend the summer in Jamaica with her father, away from her mother. And it's about her reconnecting with the family that she met there last time she visited, and some things that are just gonna happen. Some hurricane, a physical act of God hurricane, but also a storm that is about to blow through her life. And I started reading this one already, and I'm enjoying the writing. I think people who have visited Jamaica and maybe have not grown up in Jamaica and spent their entire childhood in Jamaica write a little bit different from people who have, you know, grown up there and maybe left and spent their adult life somewhere else. So Asha Bromfield is in the former category. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she writes and how that compares with like the books that we read in February, the books from, specifically the book by Nicole Dennis Ben, Here Comes the Sun. So I'm not really reading this for comparison to anything else. I'm reading this because I wanted to see if I enjoy it. It's over 340 pages, and I just got this one from the publishers, and I told them that I'd read and review it. So I already started reading this one, like I said. So that's a must for April. Other books that I'm hoping to get to, I also got this one from Penguin Random House. This is Leave Only Footprints. This is My Acadia to Zion Journey Through Every National Park. That is a project that I want to embark on myself, so I want to read what Conor Knighton has to say about his experience. It's a memoir. That's Conor Knighton right there. And yeah, it's something that I thought about doing, and I don't know when we will do that. But it would be nice to go through the national parks. I don't know about every national park, because that means going to every state, every park in every state. But it's something nice to think about and definitely to read about. It's going to be a lot shorter to read about one person's experience than you know, trekking through the parks myself. But I love hiking. I'd love to make at least a couple of these trips myself. So this one is on my radar. If I don't get to this one in April, I'll definitely push it over to May. So those are some of the books that I want to read in April. I have some other reading projects. I'm reading for the BookTube prize, and in the description box I'll list the 6 books that I'm going to be reading for the BookTube prize. I don't know which of those books I'll get to in April. I haven't acquired any of them yet. I'm reading for the nonfiction round, and all 6 are new to me. I'll actually insert pictures of them here, so you'll see the 6 books that I'm going to be reading, or that I'm going to be choosing from this month. Hold on. The other reading project that I have that I want to work on in April is I'm doing this project with Doris from All the Books, and we're reading through a list of Jacqueline Woodson's recommendations. She recommended some books for lots of different reasons, and of the books from that list, there were 12 that we each hadn't read. And so each month, our goal was to read one of the books from that list. Both of us didn't read the book that we had set aside in March, so I'm going to be reading that one this month, and I still can't remember what the title is. But I'll put a picture up here so you will see the cover. And yeah, those are some of the books that I'm planning to read in April, hoping to get to at least 12 books to keep up with my yearly goal. So that's my TBR for April. I have to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let's chat in the comments. And until next time, until we come back for another video, happy reading. Bye. I want to put up here to entertain you, and you still don't want to do this. She's always climbing up on the chair, and I don't want to stack the chairs on top of the table because then I don't want her to pull them down and hurt herself. So I just have to keep following her every time she climbs up on the chair. I take her down. We're getting her outdoor gym. We're getting her a little swing and slide and tunnel and all of that playground stuff because we can't really go to the park. I'm still a little concerned about going to the park, and we have outdoor activities. We have lots of toys, but she doesn't want to play with her toys. She wants to play with the things around the house. She wants to explore. So that's where we are. If you have tips on how I can prevent her from climbing up on the chair, would love to hear from you. I know a lot of you are parents and are more seasoned parents than I am. I'm only a year and 5 months into the game, so please share tips if you have them. Do not crawl under the table, okay? Remember, you're too tall for the table now. All right, good girl. Thanks, guys. We'll be back for another bookish video sometime soon. Until then, happy reading. Bye.
Hi.
Hi.